can say that we started a plant-based revolution in Romania and across the world with Alpro brand. So we have our plant-based drinks, we have plant-based yogurts, we have special ranges for coffees, barista range. We've got creams. What is observable here in Romania is that definitely the fact that health is becoming more and more important to people. So they look for healthy alternatives. And it was, a lot of products, categories. I'm not even talking about Danone, but rather a general trend, benefit from that simply because the people care about sugar content and what's inside, clean labels, and so on.
Hello and welcome back to Complex Made Simple. Today we are having a very special episode in English, as you might see, and I'm having next to me Robert Jasinski from Danone Group. Hello Robert, nice to see you.
Hello, pleasure to meet you.
How are you? Tell us a bit more about Danone, products, lineup. Everyone knows and heard and knows about Danone. I think the brand awareness is huge and I have no doubt. But let's explore a bit more about the categories, type of products, a bit of history, a bit about yourself. So we have a couple of things to cover.
Okay, great. First of all, thank you for inviting me to the series. Then on Danone in Romania. In Q4 last year, we've merged all three divisions in Romania. So now everything is under one roof. We operate in three distinctive categories: fresh dairy products, plant-based, and specialized nutrition. So it's over 400 people here, 400 Danones that we have in Romania. Then going maybe a bit deeper into the categories, what we try to achieve here is actually to support Romanians with healthy foods and nutrition throughout the entire journey of the life. So, we can easily start with the small babies from 0 to 3, and we've got great milk formulas under Aptamil and Milupa brands. We support healthy babies, but also challenged babies who experience some sort of allergies, colics, reflux. Then, we are growing up, so we are entered to the kids segment with Danonino, as category leader. We support healthy nutrition of small kids. Then we enter to territory of fresh dairy, and we have well recognized and known brands such as Actimel, number one immunity shot, which is extremely important, reason to enter into universe of Actimel, especially since the pandemic hit us. Then we've got Activia, number one brand in yogurts here in Romania, very distinctive, very rich and very supportive in terms of health benefits. On less known brands, if you are an active person, if you go to a gym, we've got, for example, YoPro, so the products which are contains high level of proteins and delicious as well. Then the second division, which is plant-based product. Here, I can say that we started a plant-based revolution in Romania and across the world with Alpro brand. So we have our plant-based drinks, we have plant-based yogurts, we have special ranges for coffees, barista range. We've got creams, we've got ready-to-go coffee. So the spread is huge. Of course, all the products are extremely healthy, and they support also sustainability of the planet. And last but not least, we established the footprint in healthy nutrition of adults. So I think not many people may know, but when you fight against cancer or you experience stroke, the nutrition is an important element to support that fight. And we are there as one of the key players to contribute. So regardless if you are 1 or 99 years old in Romania, we are to help you with your healthy eating habits.
I love this because...
Just a little bit to your left, please.
More. Okay.
What's it? Bine. It's okay. Continuăm, da?
I love this.
Da. I love this, the way you are looking to the customer. You are looking on the entire lifetime of the customer. And I was discussing with a lot of brands because they are trying to bring other categories. For example, there are retailers trying to bring other categories. And they're saying, and I'm always saying to them, guys, just look on what the customers can buy not only now, but during the entire lifetime. Because if you are looking on a particular segment, then you always have to feed the machine, the commerce machine, let's say. But if you are looking on the entire lifetime of the customer, you can keep it. And that's a very nice way on looking on the customer to serve their needs during the entire lifetime. It's very nice.
That's exactly one of the benefits and the reason why we did a massive transformation in order to really stretch beyond the limitation of the one single business unit, but rather look transversally across everything and think, okay, how can we support, like in this case, people in Romania.
Nice. Great work that you are doing. And also it's very nice to hear that it's not only about a couple of products or a couple of type of products that everyone knows that are belonging to Danone, but it's about a lot of others. It's like back at days when I was working on Coty Cosmetics, they told me just to have a look on all the cosmetics that I'm having in the bathroom, because I didn't knew what Coty means, and they're saying, okay, just turn around the bottles and you'll understand, because you most probably will have a quarter of the
Indeed,
products.
in cosmetics, that the range can go into hundreds on thousands of products and SKU. I can understand, indeed, looking at cosmetic range of my wife.
Exactly. Okay, tell us a bit more about how the customer behavior changed, because I remember that back in the days, like a couple of, 10 years ago, no one was talking about eco, bio, or whatever, because more or less all the products were okay, or we thought they were okay. Then it was the entire trend with going to understand the source, going to sustainability, going through vegan, going through all of those products. And I know that you are looking worldwide and addressing those needs and following those trends. But I want to discuss a bit more about, how the customers changed, how Danone adapted, what are the trends that you are seeing that are very important to follow.
Yes, of course. Period of 10 years is it's eternity in FMCG, and I was once told when I was recruited to Danone that Danone is not FMCG, it's extreme FMCG because of the pace of the action. But definitely, if you look at the last, 4 to 5 years, we can split this period into, before pandemic and now after pandemic. So it's, one-off effect that potentially will shape the world forever. So, and indeed, our categories played a role here and were affected by COVID-19. So, what is observable here in Romania is that definitely the fact that health is becoming more and more important to people. So they look for healthy alternatives. And it was, a lot of products, categories. I'm not even talking about Danone, but rather a general trend, benefit from that simply because the people care about, sugar content and what's inside, clean labels, and so on. There are products like, for example, our Actimel, who is, really helping support with vitamins and minerals, the immunity, which are very strong on the rise. So that's one trend. Second important, it's plant-based. So people, tend to move away a bit from meat and move into more vegetarian and vegan or meatless option. And here again, we are playing a key role with Alpro brand. We support so-called flexitarian diet, which is kind of, I would say, people move into that category because of two reasons. One is health, then the second is the planet. So in order to reduce the carbon footprint, definitely those choices are more greener, if I would say so. Another trend which is observable is the way people are consuming products. So there are products categories which were consumed on the go. People were snacking into office, so some industries were gone completely, or product ranges categories were stopped because of that. Only now we are observing slowly that some of our ranges are going back because, restrictions were being lifted. The last maybe trend, but I think is extremely relevant to you, is e-commerce landscapes. So indeed, I think I read in my McKinsey that what happened in 1 year in 2020, normally this transformation would last 10 years. And I think, that it's not trend, it's the new reality that will stay with us forever.
Exactly. It became the part of the core business of a lot of companies. I remember that back into the days when I was trying to convince my boss or, I don't know, the owners of the companies or to invest in e-commerce, they're seeing us, okay, others, okay, let's do that. Okay, let's target that channel as well. And also when I joined Vitex in 2019, before the pandemic, I was seeing a lot of that still happening in big companies. We're working only with big companies, and a lot of them still did that. But then during the pandemic, the entire mindset and everything kind of shifted, and now it's becoming, they understood that it can be the backbone of the company. And also we brought a lot of customers. I mean we, because all of us were in the same same domain. And there are a lot of people now entered in online and understood the benefits of this digital channel, or to acquire everything, because you saw that the food industry is booming online, and it's booming from nothing. That's one of the funniest things, because it's growing, 100x or something like that, but from nothing, and it's still like very little. Even now in 2022, I think we'll go to 3-4% of the entire food industry. It will be transacted online. So we have a lot of room to grow. And it is one of the main challenges, because there are, we were talking a bit before the podcast about the challenges that on the operational side are, because you're saying something about frozen foods or frozen goods, or transporting
Chilled.
into the, chills. And there are few companies that can have that into a very sustainable way. Sustainable, I'm saying on the business perspective, because if all the companies trying to deliver chills will try to have their own fleet of cars, it's not going to work for sure.
No, not really. But indeed, as you said, food in e-commerce is still, I would say, small. It's a fraction of entire industry, but definitely it's on the rise. And then percentage of business which can be like easily moved and into e-com, I would say it depends on categories. We've got categories when we are at about 2% of share of e-com in the business. We are big significant, categories. For example, it's milk formulas when we are at 12. So already, quite substantial. The one that we managed to triple in the last 2 years.
And you are talking about e-commerce perspective, or stores that are buying from you, not direct to consumer from you, right?
Indeed. So at least This is our, let's say, mindset and the strategy for the time being, that we are focusing on our strength. We can be master in everything, so we've got great brands, great products, and great team, and we focus on that. Whereas we rely on our strategic partners in order to drive e-com together. Be it a pure player like Emag, Freshpool, and so on, or brick and clicks.
Exactly. At the end of the day, we cannot ask customers to, if they want the same basket, to enter on 10 different platforms. It's impossible, right? At
Not
the
yet.
end of the day. Not yet. If we combine them in a very nice way, like I was telling you about the project that we're having with Unilever, that they are bringing more and more products that are not their own, but they are owning the marketplace. So they are owning the place where the customers are buying. But then it becomes a totally different business unit,
Yes,
as you said.
exactly. It's completely entire different P&L and business unit.
Exactly. How do you see the trends with retailers? With pure players, I totally understood. So there are products that are bought by them and they are selling, and a lot of trends happening there, like the products for babies. But how do you see the market moving nowadays? They are going, as you said, towards plant-based products. There are other things that during the relation with the retailers you saw.
I will start with saying that last 2 years potentially were, I'm maybe averaging a bit, but they were tough for retailers because of the pandemic. With so many restrictions, limited access to the shopping malls, it was not easy. It was not easy for suppliers, but also for our retail partners. So now I think it will be extremely interesting moment when everybody will try to catch up and to fight a bit for a traffic. Indeed, what is observable within the food universe is definitely that the partners are looking into so-called healthy options. There are one who are having a strong agenda related to bio or organic products like Carrefour. There are others who are more willing and open for collaboration into more sustainability area. Like, for example, Penny. We have a great project on sustainability with them. Then some of them are combining the two, both sustainability and also, focus on health.
I was discussing during another podcast on projects that have this component of sustainability, and understood that it can grow the adoption rate of a product like insanely. Because until, I don't know, a couple of years ago, if you would launch a new product, it would be a totally big challenge to put that product in top of mind of the customer, into trying to find the place of that product in the market, try to understand the advantages of what the product has. But if you launch a product in following this trend of sustainability, of caring about a lot about the sourcing, so having some sort of a blockchain technology behind it, so to understand, okay, where it's coming, and try to know the product, the exact product that you are consuming. How do you saw that you're mentioning a brand that you are having, and also the adoption rate, and also all of those things? You are seeing this as a huge opportunity. The market is increasing for sure. Can you give us a bit more context around that?
Yes, we have a key categories, or we are started even now to perceive it as one of a division, meaning plant-based, which indeed here sustainability play important role, because it's clear that with plant-based we can a bit reduce carbon footprint. Also in terms of sustainability, I do believe that yes, it can shape the choice of the consumers. That's why, for example, last year we did an investment of 4 million euro in the factory, which is next to us, in order to install the new sustainable line. the Tetra line, which is operating, and 93% of the packaging which is used to produce is plant-based, and we managed to reduce the carbon footprints by 45%, which is, quite nice achievement for us.
Exactly.
We are very proud of achieving that last year.
And exactly, it's huge. And I can imagine that it comes with a lot of challenges on the technical part, right? There is a particular technology that you need in order to build a factory like that, or I don't know. You must invest a lot, right?
Yes, of course. As every big company, indeed, is putting together a factory. It's a huge investment. I'm not a technician, so I don't know the details. We established this factory in 1999. So the first Danone yogurt was left the factory, I think, in May. So already I would say it's a heritage what we managed to achieve here in Romania.
Nice, congrats. And I'm very happy when I'm seeing a lot of brands investing in Romania. So, and I can imagine that it can be cheaper elsewhere, or you can have other advantages, but I'm quite sure that you can identify advantages on having all of those here as well. So there are a lot of things that we still can do in Romania.
I think that Danone is well embedded in Romania. Also, Romania within Danone has got a great reputation, and this relates a bit to the quality of people.
Exactly. Talking about people, nowadays everyone is talking about retention, about how hard it is to hire. Me, myself, I learned it on the hard way, because I got the challenge to build a team exactly when the pandemic started. So more or less the entire team was formed during the pandemic, and it was challenging, let's say. Because the induction, because the making them feel like a team, understand what are the objectives and all of those things. How is the team nowadays in Danone? How are you?
Yeah, listen, I smiled because I moved to Romania 2 weeks before the first lockdown. So, and it's the first expat experience for me and my family. So, I enter immediately into managing the business in crisis. So that was challenging experience, but very rewarding in the same time. Nowadays, as I shared with you, we just merged. So it's a journey to actually to create one team out of 2 distinctive companies, because although we shared the office, but connecting the systems, the process, way of working, entire governments, and the two different teams, that still, I would say, is a journey that we enter, but it's a great one.
Exactly. At the end of the day, like a colleague used to say, love the journey. So it's like, okay, but enjoying the journey, that's the most important. Talking about you a bit, you said that you moved during the pandemic. What are let's say, the hobbies that we are having, or challenges, or how do you relax? Let's talk a bit about you. What you did before Danone, or I understood that you are in Danone like 10 years or something.
Yes,
right?
I'm in Danone in 2 years. So I started in Poland in a dairy division. Then I moved to the specialized nutrition. Then I left Danone in order to establish my own startup. And then I returned because I like it. I like it here. Before Danone, I was with Reckitt, another big multinational producer operating household and health. So basically, this is a bit about me. Indeed, you asked me about my hobbies on the way to relax, which I do believe is an extremely important element, because I strongly believe in work-life balance. I put a lot of attention on this one. So I'm trying to be inactive, starting with going to the gym, running, exercising. Then I love outdoors. So that's why I found Romania extremely interesting and great place to be, because I like hiking with my family. I like snowboarding. So all in all, for me, if I'm in the Mantics, I'm completely in a different place. Then my other hobby is music. So I listen to music a lot. I mix electronic music.
Nice.
You can find some of my sets on SoundCloud. So these two, I think it's something that really is putting my mind on ease and allowing me to really disconnect and to recharge my life batteries.
Nice. I can give you some insights about snowboarding in Romania. I just found the
great.
team, Heliski. They are, and I understood that it's the cheapest from all Europe. There are a lot of people coming here to do heliski, and it's literally mind blowing when you can go, and it's it's very, very nice.
That's great.
Tell us a bit more about how is life in Romania compared to Poland, or how is like to be an expat in Romania?
Well, despite pandemic, for me and for my family, it's a great experience. And there are two aspects which are for me critical in a positive way. Number one, it's people. And for me, what was great, how people here in the company, welcomed me here. Actually, I adapted very, very quickly. Somehow I sense a lot of similarities. I don't know, maybe there is, this organization culture indeed unites the people, across different geographies. Then I find Romania as a great place to live because simply it's beautiful and definitely underrated as a country in Europe. So a lot of stuff to see, a lot of stuff to do. Bucharest has got a great location. So actually each weekend, you can explore either seaside or mountains, which for me, do the job properly.
Glad to hear. Coming back to Danone, if you would magically have the power to change something, like only one thing, what would you change?
What to change?
Or to improve, or to optimize, or to, I don't know. It's like magic. You can do it without any consequences.
I will stick to this magic component, and I would say that I would love to bend time, which is extremely limited resource. So time to actually to spend much more time with my people, with my business partners, to listen to them, to explore new ideas and concepts. I would stretch time.
Nice. Now coming to the end of the podcast, let's change sides a bit. If you would like to ask me something, anything, just shoot.
Okay. So listen, you are leading extremely successful company which operates in the area of e-commerce, which is booming at the moment. There are plenty of different concepts around it, but also we are a consumer. Definitely, as Danone, we are interested in you. So from either personal or professional perspective, if you could give a feedback to Danone on what we could improve or change, I'm all ears.
One thing that I was always, and I have a very good friend that is like a mentor to me, and she was saying that one of my superpower was asking, and always asking for help, feedback, and things like that. So I would look a lot on more mature markets or on markets that are a bit ahead of us. For example, this was what we did also in all the markets that we're in. Try to understand, because we have the local context, or the context, no matter, the context of the company, the context of the market, all of those things. I would look always on what other successful models are, including in different verticals that have nothing to do, because you can identify things that can adapt to yours. And through your own filter, you would understand, okay, what are the pieces that you can connect together?
The principles which I can take. Okay.
It's hard to identify new dots, but connecting two dots that were never connected is the most important thing.
Yes, this is when the magic happens.
Exactly. Thanks a lot, Robert. Really nice to meet you, and thanks a lot for the podcast. Looking forward to see you, and have a very lovely day.
Yes, thank you. It was a pleasure, and I look forward for this recommendation of Kaliski.
Thanks.
Okay, thanks.